Have you ever stopped to think about the difference between the life we showcase on social media and the reality we face every day? While Instagram photos and videos seem perfect, real life is often much tougher than it looks. Why do so many people focus on portraying an ideal life online instead of appreciating what they truly have? And is this obsession with appearances making us forget what really matters? The answer lies in how we prioritize our time, health, and purpose. What truly counts isn't the image of success, but the genuine things we often overlook in our own lives. You know, there's always this big gap between how things really are, how we want them to be, and how they seem on the surface. It's like more and more we're living in a world shaped by our desires rather than seeing things for what they truly are. And that's something the teachings of Buddhism really shine a light on, right? The idea that suffering comes from clinging to our desires and illusions. It's such a big part of how we lose touch with reality. I gotta say, especially in my generation, we were super sensitive to appearances. People were constantly putting on a front, showing off a life that wasn't really theirs. And back then, we didn't have the internet at our fingertips to check if what someone was saying was legit. I mean, I remember I didn't even get my first email until I was 19, already in college. Can you imagine? Nowadays, kids are out here emailing and texting long before they even hit high school. Back then, at 15 or 16, all we had were those basic cell phones that could barely make calls and send those super simple text messages. And sending an SMS, yeah, that was like 40 cents a pop. So we didn't exactly do it all the time, but man, appearances really ran the show. People would flex like they had money, but honestly, a lot of them were just borrowing luxuries, cars, houses, even clothes. It was all for show. The media played into this too. Magazines, TV, they made it seem like every celebrity was living the dream. Rich, glamorous, like everything was perfect. But we didn't know they were getting free meals at restaurants just because they had deals with the owners. It's kind of funny because it's the same thing we see today with influencers on social media. Now, fast forward to today, we've wised up a bit. We know when we see someone posting about some fancy dinner or luxury vacation, they're probably not paying for it. It's all part of some promotion or sponsorship deal. But here's the kicker. This new awareness hasn't exactly made things better. If anything, people are holding on even tighter to the fantasy, like they think life should match their ideal version of it. And some folks, they believe they can take shortcuts, like using anabolic steroids without facing the consequences. Honestly, I just want to encourage you to take a step back sometimes and really think about this. It feels like life's getting more intense every day. People aren't learning from the past, and they're still chasing after lies and fantasies. There's this belief that success should just fall into your lap, that you can get rich without putting in the effort. But let me tell you, when you're out here trying to build a career or work towards something meaningful, it's a grind. It's all about work, work, and more work. Unless, of course, you're born into wealth. If that's you, well, congrats, you've got it easier. But for the rest of us, the hustle is real and there's no way around it. Buddhism reminds us to look beyond these illusions, though. The constant chasing after desires and trying to live in a fantasy only leads to suffering. Instead, the path is about finding peace in the present, accepting the reality of things, and letting go of that constant craving for more. It's tough, especially with the world pushing these ideas on us 24/7, but it's possible. And hey, maybe it starts with just one small moment of mindfulness where we can stop and ask ourselves what really matters. Before we dive deeper into today's topic, I've left a list of 4 incredible books in the description that I believe will really help you on your journey of personal development. These books have been game changers for me, and they tie in perfectly with what we're discussing, focusing on what truly matters and not getting lost in superficial distractions. Be sure to check them out after the video. I hear you. Working 14 hours every day, nonstop grinding, weekends included, it's tough. And let's be real. If life were as easy as some people imagine, we'd probably be living a completely different story. But the truth is, the hustle is real, and it doesn't take breaks. The Instagram perfect life with its filters and highlight reels is just a small, polished slice of reality. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any issue with those videos or the people who post them. It's just important to remember that life's not all about those curated moments. So why do I keep going even when the challenges keep coming? Simple, because this is life. It's not an Instagram feed full of perfectly edited snapshots. It's raw, unfiltered, full of highs and lows, struggles and growth. Buddhism talks a lot about impermanence and the acceptance of suffering as part of the journey. And honestly, that's exactly how I see it. The grind, the struggles, they're not something to avoid, but something to work through. Sometimes life just knocks you down hard. And when you think you've hit rock bottom, it can surprise you and push you even lower. It's absurd how tough it can get. But I've seen the other side too. I've worked with terminally ill cancer patients, and let me tell you, their perspective changes everything. They're not chasing after superficial things. No one's worrying about getting a six-pack or hitting some arbitrary fitness goal. They care about what truly matters, spending time with the people they love. That's when you realize what's really important in life. So why don't more of us focus on the things we already have, like time, health, and purpose? Buddhism teaches us to embrace the present moment, to find peace in what we already possess, instead of constantly yearning for more. Because when you get caught up in envy, always chasing what you don't have, it's a dangerous mindset. You end up missing out on the richness of life that's already within your grasp. A lot of people have a completely skewed idea of what it means to be rich. I know folks who literally take helicopters just to go to a doctor's appointment. Can you imagine that? A short ride in a chopper costs more than what most people will make in their lifetime. And yet, even with all that wealth, I still see people online complaining about their lives, envying others, and wishing they had more. It's wild. Buddhism reminds us to step back and be mindful of the present moment. Real wealth isn't about having private jets or fancy cars. It's about recognizing the blessings already in our lives. Time with family, our health, a sense of purpose. These are the real treasures. But with social media making it look like everyone else is living a perfect life, it's so easy to forget that. At the end of the day, life's not about those polished videos or envy-inducing photos. It's about how we choose to navigate the ups and downs, how we value the things that truly matter. And if we can focus on that, well, we're already richer than we realize. As we've seen, real life isn't about the perfect image we present online, but about valuing what truly matters, our time, health, and purpose. It's easy to get caught up in appearances, but at the end of the day, it's the genuine moments that count. So let's stop chasing illusions and start focusing on what we already have. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who might need to hear this message. Your support means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.